My name is Melissa Alaba, your money breakthrough coach and therapist. And I'm super excited because today we are talking about mastering your money mindset, financial empowerment for women with ADHD professionals who have ADHD. And so I'm excited because I see a lot of this with women that I see, that I treat, and I want to share with you just a few key things in which, when I'm working with women, things that come up that we are like, yes, yes, let's talk about this. So first of all, having ADHD is not the stigma that it used to be. You hear people all the time saying things like, this is not working with my ADHD. This is something that I need to think about more, things like that. So it is become very much a normalized conversation. But I also want you to know it truly does impact people in a different way. So let's talk about one way in which I have seen people say that this has impacted them. And this term that I actually got from a colleague when I was on a trip. So she and I both had missed a call. It was a call to action where we had to set up a call with our coach. And she shared with me, she said, well, we're going to just call that the ADHD tax. And I said, tax? She's like, oh, yeah. When you have ADHD, there's all these extra taxes that you pay. And I said, oh my God, that is so much the truth. So we're going to talk about what that means. When she said extra tax, what she's meaning is missed deadlines, purchasing something that you've already purchased because you forgot the first one. All of these different things cause people with ADHD to pay more than their counterparts would have paid. Because oftentimes they may wait to the last minute to do something. They may be late with a bill, therefore now they're paying the extra amount because of that. And a lot of that is just the system getting used to running that way, the brain getting used to functioning that way. So we're going to talk about ways that you can back out of that so you're not paying extra taxes and you're feeling a little bit more in control of your money life. All right, so one of the things that I wanted to share with you guys is, I don't like the word budget, but it is a budget. We all have to have one, right? No matter what that is. You can be a millionaire balling, you still have to work within the millions, because if you're doing 2 millions in spending, it's not going to add up, right? But I just find that a lot of my clients with ADHD actually have great budgets. The problem is they don't review them often enough. So I want to talk about one of the keys that I found is having a monthly planning. So monthly planning session in which you go back and you look at what you spent that month, and then you plan for purchases and you plan for things for the following month. Now you can do this weekly. Weekly, it's great to just review your accounts. Totally, but I want you to plan for purchases, because what I find is that a lot of my clients don't actually plan for purchases, and then things come up that are shiny and bright. You guys know what I'm talking about, and you're like, I just need this now. Or you feel like you have all of these signs pointing that you should buy this thing. So maybe a commercial came up and you're like, yes, I was thinking about that. And then maybe you go on Facebook and you see another ad, and then maybe somebody tells you something, and so then you go for it. But just imagine you go for it a couple times in a month. You now look at your budget and you're like, oh my God, I have 4 new things on auto pay that I wasn't thinking of. So I want you to review monthly, and then you're going to review to the needs and desires for that thing. How often are you using the thing that you just purchased? And if you're not using it after 3 months, it's time to get rid of that particular purchase. And this is hard for a lot of us, right? Because once we've committed, we just want to keep going with it. But I want you to understand that as you're noticing that that was just something that pulled your attention away and is not actually the thing that you wanted, desired, or are utilizing, it's okay to let it go. The other thing I want you guys to do is, so you're evaluating your purchases, you're making sure that they're going to be something that you're going to stay with, that you actually want. But I want you to forgive yourself. So a lot of times when I'm seeing people, especially when we're talking about like money trauma and things with money, we carry a lot of guilt around decisions that we made or things that didn't work out. And so constantly being able to forgive yourself and saying it's okay, like in that moment, that decision made sense, but now it doesn't, and I'm going to make another change. It's totally okay. So, forgiveness is so important as you're working through this process because as you forgive, you allow yourself to have more self love and you also allow yourself to make better decisions the next time. Oftentimes when I'm working with clients, I can hear people when they're going in on themselves, like, I don't make good decisions, I'm just not good with money, things like that. And that is just not the case. Literally, you got yourself to this point. We want to get you to a space where you're feeling more confident, more alert, more alive when it comes to your money, more happy. But you've gotten yourself to this point, so you are good with money. We just want to get you where you're feeling better with money. And so self-defeating talk, negativity against yourself doesn't help. So I want you to just start thinking about that, forgiving yourself and thinking about that. I also like for my clients to do one money thing per month. Like, what's something you can do to empower yourself? So maybe this month we learn about investments, right? And so maybe you're learning about what's in my 401k. Like, it doesn't even have to be where you're going to invest in the stock market. Maybe you have a 401k plan. You're like, let me get the link to that and see what I'm actually investing in and seeing how my investment's going. If you do this every single month, we look at one aspect of your investments, whether that's your UL, universal life insurance. What's happening over there? Let me check in on that. Whether that is your home, let me look at my home loan. Let me see the percentage of this. Am I paying it down? Could I be putting a little bit more there? Any of those things will allow you to feel more confident and more comfortable with your money. So having regular money dates where you're actually thinking about what's happening with your money will really help you feel more confident. Number 4, I want you guys to build a team. I often think of the team as your therapist, your coach. It could be someone in your family. It could be a friend where you are talking about what's happening in your financial life and you're sharing with them how you're going to improve in this area or this thing that you're going to do. You're basically asking for accountability. A lot of my clients see me as a team member, so they share with me. Yes, I'm checking my account each day now. I'm more conscientious of my purchases. I have different things that I'm budgeting for. I'm thinking of one client, and one of the things that we did, she would always say, I had her to say no before she would say yes. So anything that she wanted, she had to say no first, right? So a no first would be like, okay, let me think about this thing that I say that I desire or I need. Let me give it a couple days and come back to it. And not buying in a pressure situation, but being able to evaluate what her desires truly were and then coming back to it in a couple days. And sometimes checking in with her team, seeing if this was a good fit, especially when you have evaluated your goals for the year. So let's say your goal for the year is, I want to purchase a home at the end of this year. Therefore, I need to save this amount of money. Therefore, I need to get my credit score here. Therefore, I need to, pay off this debt or that debt. So anytime you're taking on something new, you're taking away possibly from the new goal, right? The bigger overarching goal. So having a team will help you feel and be more accountable. And then there's overgiving. So a lot of my professionals, those with ADHD, are givers, and they don't often think about the consequences of how often they give and what they give to. So it could be anything. It could be a charity, it could be a family member calling with the issue. Whatever the case, they give a lot, and often they're believing they're giving out of their abundance, but they may be giving from an empty pot. And then once it catches up to them, they're now like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So really being able to check in with yourself of how much you can give. I remember being at this point myself. many years ago, and I was just given to a lot of folks, especially family members. And I remember coming up with a budget. I had to come up with a budget of what I could actually give to my family members, and what I could not anymore. Like, because I was realizing that when I needed funds for myself, I wasn't putting them away at all for me. I was just literally keeping money available for people for when they ask. And that does not feel good, my friends. That does not feel good. So yeah, and the last one, I want you to take your time. And I talked about that. Take your time with purchases. Take your time to evaluate, is this what I really want to do? So these are the tips that I have for you guys in managing yourself and your money when you have ADHD. And I hope that these have been valuable to you guys. And we will see you on the next episode. This has been a series that we're doing, and I believe mine is episode number 2. So please check in for the next episode. Talk to you guys soon.